Welcome to Heal the World Show podcast, brought to you by the Healing Institute. I'm Parmelia Parham. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Healing Institute, and I am so delighted to have our guest co-host today. But I want to tell you a little bit about the Healing Institute. We're an online worldwide hub of holistic practitioners, and we really want to make an impact with health and healing in the world. We're here to give people hope. We want to create a proactive wellness society. I think we've been a reactive illness society for way too long, and it's time to change that around. We want people to know that there are ways to be well and stay well on their health journey. And I have been using alternative ways of being well for well over 30 years. And I can tell you that it definitely works. So we're talking today about, because February is the love month, and we're talking about seeing love in all relationships. Just before I introduce my guest co-host today, I wanted to just let you know as well, one of the reasons that I created the Healing Institute was because we had a tragedy in our family a few years ago, in that my mom passed away at a very young age. She was only 61, and it was due to complications because she'd been on a medication for a very long time. And, it was tragic. She passed away right at Christmas time. It was the 15th of December. I was 5 months pregnant with my son, my first child. And not only was it very tragic that she died at such a young age, but my children didn't get to know their grandmother. And I really don't want that happening for any other families. So we are really passionate about creating the Institute, and the Institute is creating education for people so that people can know about the different alternative ways that they can be well on their health journey. So having said that, I want to now introduce Radavie Riom from North Carolina, all the way from North Carolina. I'm on the west coast of Canada, so we're almost like kitty corner across the continent. But Radavie is a servant of inner peace, and she is so delightful. I've known her for a number of years now, and we're going to talk today about Love Your Divine Spark. Radavie has a book out. We're going to talk about that. And she truly believes that we all have an inner divine spark. So welcome, Radavie. I'm so delighted to have you here today.
Tara, it's really great just being here with you on this special Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And I'm thinking we have a special day, or the world created a special day for Valentine's, for sharing love with those you're close to. But to me, there is a love within all of us that is always totally present, and it just doesn't express itself in one day and then it's gone and we've forgotten. That's the essence of our soul.
Thank
That's
you.
what we really are.
That is so true. I love the way you said that, because we often will get kind of sidetracked, if you will, thinking about the different kinds of love and what is out there. And I'm glad you mentioned it was Valentine's Day. I meant to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day today. And and yes, it's so very true for us to really also actualize the love for ourselves and our inner spark. And I love that you call it an inner spark, a divine spark, because that really resonates with me.
Yeah, actually, the word which I had never heard before, but when I was getting the messages, they told me that we are not wounded children, we are divine sparks, and I'd never heard the word before. And so I realized that the flame, from the one flame that we all are from, there's sparks. And that one flame is the flame of the divine, of God. I
Mhm.
really like to use the word God. It's not Christian. It's not. It's a divine. It's a consciousness.
Yes.
So
And
we
and
are
it
all
it transpires over all what we would call
absolutely
religions, right? So
yes.
It's
Yes,
definitely, yes, I agree.
it's so we're all sparks from that one flame. That flame is that everlasting love. And if we are sparks from the one flame, we go beyond a day of Valentine. And when we recognize that, we are offering love in the world to everyone. And, I heard a saying, to remember who you are, you need to forget what they told you to do, to be. So to really remember who you are, you have to forget what they told you to be. Do you remember when we were told that we were the biographical self? We were a name, we were the physical being, when in essence, the, our, our soul, the spark of our soul, is what is calling us now to remember what we really are. And the world is going through some really, really churning and difficulties
Mhm,
and shifting,
mhm.
but it's an exciting thing if we stop and feel within ourselves there is a change. And no one can ever deny that one way or the other, there is a change. But the change,
Absolutely.
yeah, that change is about more consciousness.
Which we need, definitely.
It's more, and
Individually, we need that, and as a world, we need that. As a society, we need that.
yes, and it's
Absolutely.
here. It's here. There's a lot more light. If we really stop instead of living as our belief self and stop to think that from our hearts, or even moments of silence, and
Oh, so
feel
profound. Yes.
and feel where am I in this space of silence? I'm not out there in the chaos. I'm here in that space within that is silent. And the more we do that, the more we will start to remember what we really are.
And why we're
But
here.
yes, and what I commonly say is that we're living from the biographical self, which
Mhm.
is the foundation that created that sense of belief. All our beliefs of what we think the world is about and what we are and what we should be, it's really on that foundation but we have to break that up. That foundation are the programs.
Yeah. Mhm.
What was instilled in us to be and what. And so we have to clear that foundation. And that's what I've done for many, many years with my clients. Because when we clear those foundations, the authentic foundation is when we were born. And when we were born, we came in with that innocence.
Yes, absolutely. And
And we
one of
didn't
the things that one of the things that was very profound for me when I first heard it was that we are spiritual beings having a human relationship in a human physical
it's
body, but we're really
yes.
spiritual beings. And
We
I love that. That really made a lot of
we
sense
need
to
to
me.
yes, when we need to reverse, as a matter of fact, we need to look at the other side of the coin.
Hmm.
That has never shifted. That's the original foundation of our existence, what you said. And and that is where the divine spark is, because in our innocence we knew nothing. We only were aware of everything around us as ourselves. Because we didn't know, we didn't have language, we didn't have a belief until we began to be programmed. And I'm not going to look at that and say that was a horrible thing. And what I want to say is that in my world, contrast is very valuable, because if we didn't have the contrast to live in that place of the biographical, to live as in lack, to live in doubt, to live in fear, we would not know about the life within our hearts and our divine presence. I
Well,
don't
and
think
we
so.
were talking before we started recording, and we were
Yeah,
also, you mentioned that that contrast is so important because that's where awareness comes from.
absolutely.
And then once you're aware of how things are, or how you want things to be different, or you learn new ways of healing, for example, or you hear someone speaking, or you read a book that touches your heart as well as your soul and your intellect around, wow, we could really make a difference if we did this. That's what's so important. The awareness is, I say, the awareness is oneness, but it's also the first step for people to.
Absolutely. And when you were, as you were saying that, what's coming to me is that we need to have an open mind.
Oh, yes, for sure, for
An
sure.
open mind so we can listen to all things. And somewhere in us, we know the answers. We really do. And if we listen, and this is where evolution comes in my world. We're here to learn, grow, and evolve. And we learn, grow, and evolve through the hard the heartbreaks, the hard knocks that we get, which happened in my life. And why was that? Because we all have come here, I feel, with an agreement of what we're here and how we're here to serve others. It's
Yeah.
not about a selfish thing. I'm here about myself. We're here to learn through the human self into really going into expressing what am I here to be of support to others. And like you, Primelia, you're here inviting so many professed people who can help people through their belief system, through their evolution. And that to me is one of the most valuable things we can do because we take that in business, we take that in opening to others more than just it's about me. It's
It's
not
so
about
important, so important. I believe in service. You know, our motto at the Healing Institute is service with love. So I
it
really, truly
is.
believe that we're in service and we're doing it with love. We're opening our hearts, we're connecting with people heart to heart, which is really a very, very high vibration, and really assisting sort of the evolution of making the world a better place. So,
It's
yeah.
it's it's through love and compassion,
Mm.
and as we're talking, I really want one of the things that I just opened my book and I'll
Oh,
see
please read us.
and I see one of the messages because the messages are throughout the book. And it's and I'm gonna read this one, and I want people to really listen from their heart because it's multidimensional. I do not repeat what they tell me because there's a vibration to it. So it says, become aware of us. Release us when I'm touched. Release us and let us walk across the bridge together to the freedom of the one. We are all God's children. And
I love
all,
that. That's beautiful. Show us your book. We want people to see your book.
yeah, yes. And the book, I have little pages. The book was because of the messages. And I
Mhm.
really, really, in my divine heart, feels that I'm a messenger.
Yes, yes. I'm here to I'm here to share what the messages that I'm getting. I'm here to share those with others so that
Yeah,
I can assist them in their whatever is going on with them, if it's a, physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. I'm here to assist them to be in joy. I truly believe we were meant to be in joy. We were meant to be, we came into this world to be in joy. And I know that was part of my learning over 20 years ago when I wasn't in joy, and I was then started to search. Very fortunate, found a healer and a teacher who I studied under for 8 years and got my joy back. And in doing that, I'm now doing the work that I'm doing. I
I
had no
know.
idea.
Why did that happen? Because you had an open mind, Pamela.
And
You were not happy.
curiosity, we
Yeah,
need to ask questions. We need to be
yeah,
curious.
absolutely. You are not happy with where you are. And that's why my clients come to see me. They're not happy. There's something they don't know. And the most in my experience and in my service, the most important thing is mm, to heal the emotional heart.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely.
And that's what my soul knows about. Heal the emotional heart. And we have to go and look at the parts of ourselves, which is usually the innocent child
Yes,
who begun to be trained to be something other than it is. And that's where the wound, to me, that's where the wound. This is where I find the wounded thousands
I
of my
agree. Hmm.
clients. And so we have to heal that. And I remember when I used to do a lot more of that work, I was able to hear those children. They spoke to me. And some of them said, I'm so glad that you're here. And I realized, and the session never ends until I get the client to be able to hear, because
Hmm.
they need to go back home to reparent those children, to love them, that they know
Yes.
as the adult knows.
And give
And
them that support that they didn't
that
get.
they never got. That's
Hmm.
exactly it. It's a beautiful, simple process if we get it and said, don't feel ashamed that you're emotional or you're hurting. It's not what you really are. And so I realized after a while when I got these messages that what I was helping them to uncover was their spark.
Hmm.
It's a divine spark. Because once you clear away all of those things, you open back to the essence of your being.
Absolutely. Yes.
You
And you
know
become
that?
who you showed up with, who you showed
Ab-
up to be in the world, and you
yes. And
you
why
be,
you're here and
and
why
you
you're
yeah,
here.
you get that innocence back in a way as to why that love and that joy that you had as a child when you first came into the world. I love it. Yes, that's
Absolutely. And,
beautiful.
for many, 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 many years, I was sad. I was so sad. And now, I look at the child in me is very present. So, I look at things from
Well, and I think we also need to embrace that child. We need to embrace the child that inner child that we had. We just need.
plants. Now the plants are part of me. Consciousness is part of all of
All
us.
of us, yes. And we need to
Yes,
embrace that. We need to embrace that
yes,
that
yes.
innocent inner child that we had, that we
And
came here with.
and that's a primary thing, I think, why your healing institute is so important, because you have a number of facilitators there who have different modalities, and they all do something in a different way, but the modalities that they're drawn to do is a frequency.
Yes,
It's a
absolutely.
frequency code for their soul. And when you try to do something like somebody else, it doesn't work because you're coming from a need. When you live from your authentic self, you are most present in your divine divinity.
And things just fall into place.
And things
It's
fall
not
into
hard.
place.
There's just so many wonderful
And
things that we
people
can.
see it. People
Yeah.
see it in you. You're people, wearing a mask.
No,
Not
because
wearing a
you're
mask.
being
So
authentic. They're being who
yeah.
you really are. Exactly.
So my book really, Awakening to Inner Peace in the Midst of Chaos, is really about beginning from the program, from the essence of our being, and
Hmm.
how we were programmed, and how we have gone through many hard knocks and
Right.
disappointment and hurt. And part of it, I talk about part of my experience because this book is really not about me, but it's about what we have gone through as divine beings, what we have gone through, what we've experienced, and it comes down to, and that's where the messages are so important for people to get to remember, because it's divine spark within all of us is speaking. You are speaking to me on everybody's behalf, because the messages are very yearning,
Hmm.
very yearning, very yearning. It's like, hear me. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, hear me, know me. This is what I'm here to do, to give love. And I'm, because some of the messages is like that. I'm here to offer love. And so on Valentine's Day today, I really want to remind people, let that love spread among everyone, not just the people you know,
Yes, and
but and
out
let it
into your
continue.
communities, out into your country, out into
Uh,
the world. You know,
and those who, yes, and
we do
those
need
who
love.
have
We
hurt
do
you,
need it for sure.
and those who have hurt you, it's not their essence that hurt you. It was the conditioning.
Mm. Oh, I love the way you said that. That makes so
And
much sense.
yeah,
Yes.
and their
So it's not
belief.
them themselves, it's what their
Oh,
conditioning was that.
absolutely. So remember that. And I have a real story in there about my personal, my brother and myself in that book. That was, yeah. And so I've gone through many experiences that I realized, oh my God, that was the reason, because this book, I realized, took me a while to realize that it was what a reminder of what my soul came in to do. I used to wonder, why me get this message? I've never written a book. And it took me a long time to realize this was part of everything that I've done. The
Yes.
emotional work, my own. And I thought, wait a minute, they all came from the same link and connection. Nothing had ever changed. And
Give me the
so,
name of your book again, because I'm going to put
yeah,
that in this show notes. Awakening to Inner Peace
in the midst of chaos.
in the midst of
It's on
chaos.
Amazon, and yes, it's on Amazon, and and it's really, when I was going through my own healing, very deep healing, I knew my higher self told me, to I'm here to free the the code, to release the code of the human conditioning.
Yes. Yes.
And
I've heard you say that before, and I love that
yes, and I'm
phrase.
not, yeah, and it in the beginning it felt egotistical. I thought, no, no, not today. What's going on in the world, and people are open and hungry to really know what they really are.
They
We
are,
are here.
most definitely. They're
We are
searching.
we're
People
here
are
to bring.
searching. They're searching for that inner peace.
Yeah,
They're
yes,
searching for that feeling of of belonging and want and being part of a community. And that's what I differentiate our Healing Institute from other wellness directories, because I talk about us being a community. We're a wellness community. So when a client comes to the Healing Institute, and maybe they might choose one of the practitioners, I do body code work, maybe they might think that might be interesting to experience. But we're all of the practitioners that are on the Healing Institute all refer that client or would refer that client to other people on the platform, because we really want to make we want to make an impact with that person on their health and healing journey.
Of
And so
course,
we're giving all of ourselves to them. Yeah.
yes. And breaking the code of the human conditioning.
Yes.
It's not that I am here to do that. I'm here to remind people that to break that code is to let go the beliefs, the condition, the biographical self.
Yeah.
That's it.
And be your divine spark.
And be your divine spark. Yes.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, we are at the end of our 30 minutes, which is always surprising to me that it goes this
Oh,
fast. So, again, thank you so much for being my guest co-host today, Radavie. It's always delightful to chat with you, and I always have that inner that inner warmth and love after having a conversation with you. So
oh,
I really am so delighted that you were able to be my guest co-host today on Valentine's Day, February the
I
14th,
know.
2025.
So
And
special. So let's go out today, everyone. Even if you listen to this after Valentine's Day, let's just share our love to the world. That's it. It's
absolutely.
easy. We don't have to do anything but feel it within. When I hear the chaos going on in the world, I can't change it physically, but the most important thing that we can do is change it vibrational.
Vibrationally.
Love.
Yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
my teacher taught me, as I'm changing my own vibration and raising my level of consciousness, even though I think I'm just doing it for me, I'm actually those are ripples of energy that are going out into the world. And we are, in fact, each individual of us that is doing that is raising the consciousness of the world.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why we are all here in whatever we do to know that we are not here to make ourselves build ourselves. We're here to to learn and grow to help others.
Absolutely, for sure. And we want people to know too that we have a vision with the Healing Institute, that we really want to create this wellness society. We really want to give people hope. We have a platform of health practitioners, and they actually customize whatever unique treatment you need to what you're requiring. It's not
Very
just,
good.
yes.
Excellent.
So, and I did mention, but I'll say it again, our motto is service with love. And we have a big ask. We ask you to please share this podcast with your community, with your family, with your friends. Let people know that there is hope and healing for you. If you that's what you're looking for. That's what we're hearing, that people are really looking for connection, and they're looking for how to be as healthy as they possibly can, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. So thank you for listening in today. And again, Radavie, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. We will see you next Friday on Heal the World Show podcast. And wishing you a wonderful Valentine's Day.
So let's live with love. Just live with this abundance of love that just imagine there are sparks, sparks. All of us as divine sparks, filling the world with sparks. Isn't that beautiful?
I love it. I love the image. Yes, let's
Yes,
do that.
that just yes. So thank you so much, Pamelia, for having me, and always wonderful to spend time with you.
I feel the same way about you. All right.
Okay.